In my opinion, we should all aspire to transcend and overcome the human condition and reclaim our godhoods. The human condition is defined by the false belief that one is a slave to circumstances, either to an external god, or to the material world of circumstance. By the false belief that one does not have total control over their own life and experience. There truly is nothing more important than becoming aware that imagination animates reality and taking back control over your own experience. You are the only awareness and causation in any reality you observe. Nothing exists apart from you. It is all an illusion. And no one else is seeing this. No one else is in the world with you. It's all just characters, in a way. And you are absolutely the main character, as well as writer, director, producer. Everything is inside of you. Everything you witness, you created. Every object, person, world event. It's all a dream, or in the void reality case a nightmare, am I right? We have all got all of creation inside ourselves, and we are each the gods of any reality we experience. Now, there are parts of creation that are in dissonance and in conflict with ourselves and our truths. That's when we find ourselves in unlovely states, void realities, etc. Because the soul/being experience is God experiencing itself. And for God/all that is/you to experience itself, it must kind of separate itself into different individualities/personalities/souls, because otherwise it would just exist in this static state of being everything at once, and it would not know itself intimately, because you need to be a specific person/thing/point of view to do that. In order to take control of creating and painting our canvas of experience, writing our own stories, experiencing our desires, we must let go of human values. Let go of societal values. Let go of materialism. Let go of thinking we are at the mercy of society, events, governments, the void reality body, biology, science, physics, history, this reality or any type of circumstance. You are the ultimate authority. Your feelings are valid. It doesn't matter if the world thinks you're wrong. You determine what's true for you. It is what makes sense for you in your heart and what resonates and empowers you the most. The 3D is just an illusion. It is a delayed and limited reflection of what you are focusing and placing your awareness on within your mind/imagination/4D. I know for me personally, the void reality happened when I imagined my own damnation and doom. My personal hell. This is what happens when you think you are at the mercy of circumstance and that you are powerless. What happens when you think that you can't have what you want and need? That you can't live a life that reflects you? When your soul has been listening for many incarnations that life is tough, or that you have to accept the hand that you are dealt and not complain, that you should be grateful for even existing, or that you only do so because of your parents and that you owe the world/society things, or that power corrupts. All lies. They just want you to be a slave to conditioning and circumstances, to take in the programming, the roles, and just mindlessly live like that. But what happens when there are no comforts, no quality of life, when you find yourself in the wrong body, in the wrong place, surrounded by the wrong people, when the life they want you to conform to goes against the truth of your own being, against your every inclination, instinct, sensibilities, personality, personal values, sense of self, identity, interests, lifestyle, your idea of what life should be and look like, of your normal, when you are told the way you think and feel is not valid, that a good life is superfluous and just not possible for you, when you don't have access to any of the stimuli you need, when the people and environment around you are all wrong, when you are surrounded by misery and squalor and ignorance and you are gaslit and told that it is not that bad when it absolutely is that bad, when you are told that you live in underprivileged circumstances when that couldn't be further from the truth. When you are surrounded by ugliness and the absolute absence of any beauty or thing of any value, when as a kid you are constantly being screamed at and psychologically abused in every way by strict and demanding quote-unquote caregivers and told that it is love and that I should feel grateful for them, and that was even before you openly rebelled and was sort of going along with it, when you are constantly invalidated and told you are the problem and that you should accept this bullshit by mental health quote-unquote professionals they forced you to see. When there is not a single person or institution you can turn to for support and help. When every memory and experience you had, every interaction, the whole environment, disturbs you and disgusts you to your very core. And when people have the audacity to say I should accept that, well, I'll tell you what happens. You go crazy. Because the other option is conforming, becoming an automaton and abandoning myself and my truth, and I could never do that. There's a quote I really like that goes, only the strong go crazy. The weak just go along. And that's absolutely true. YOLO is a dangerous and wrong philosophy. Not because you shouldn't live life to the maximum, because I absolutely support the hedonistic and adventurous angle, but because of the false implication that you only live once and should accept a current set of circumstances and reality, and that you are placed here by an outside force and after this you are done. This belief has done so much harm. Organized religion has used this fear in man to manipulate people into getting in line and conforming for all of human history. The belief in an external God that would punish you with an eternity of suffering if you don't follow the rules and dogma supported by the church and state. They ask you to give up your own judgment and individuality just so they can control you. And then there's materialism, where you are expected to believe you are at the mercy of society and circumstance, and that you have no power. And even worse, told you shouldn't have power because it corrupts. Told you shouldn't dream big because things are impossible and there is nothing more than what your senses perceive. Told you are a fragile body. Told you are insignificant. Told you shouldn't think of yourself as the center of the world. Told to compromise. Told you can't leave no matter how bad it gets, because that's the only life you get, and that you should tolerate it. All bullshit. I sort of came up with a saying that's like people saying you got to play the cards you are dealt. That's bullshit. They don't realize you can select whichever cards you want or leave the seat and go sit at a different table to play a completely different game. Like, you should be able to create whichever character you like in whatever story you want to your specifications. You don't have to feel guilty or think you have to find your place in the world or be a cog in a machine. You have got all of creation and all worlds inside of you. The truth is not out there, it is inside. And any guidance you receive, firstly, it is coming from you, it is your higher/infinite/God self reaching out. But it is within you first.